So New Balance brought back a model that I have not checked out in person yet. So I asked them, can I get a pair of these 740s? And they said, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I am thankful that they are sponsoring this video. So shout out to New Balance for sponsoring this content. Much appreciated. And for you guys out there watching, I mean, it makes a big difference for me to be able to have the sponsorships on my channel. It lets me help support my family and everything else. So even though New Balance is sponsoring the content, they don't get to dictate anything I'm saying about the product. I'm just letting you guys know my honest opinion. So the best way to support the channel is if you guys see a product from New Balance that you guys like, and use the links in the description of the video to make the purchases. I do get a little bit of a kickback, but it lets the brand know that you guys saw the content. Greatly appreciate it when you guys do that. This video though is gonna be on the new 740s, or the new to us 740s. So the 740 is actually a legacy model that was released in the early 2000s, and they brought them back for 2024. The thing is this is a little bit different than the other pair. The midsole is a little bit different. Parts of the upper is a little bit different as well. I'll get into some of the description in a second. But I did notice that. I was like, okay, they definitely made it more of like a lifestyle pair of sneakers versus like the running sneaker that it was back in the day. So my first impressions right out of the box is, first of all, I like this colorway. The green and silver and white kind of has like an ALD sort of vibe to it, but I like the colorway a lot. And then I also like the mesh that they used on this model. It's like a larger gauge mesh on here that looks really, really nice. The styling of the upper is pretty cool as well. You have lots of different like panels that kind of like swirl around the shoe. And I like that metallic sort of accent as it's kind of running through the upper of the shoe. But these panels kind of connect, which I think is kind of cool. It goes from the heel and then it swoops down, and then there's another layer over top for the toe guard, and then also one that kind of swoops up through the end, and then there's like multiple layers here going on, which I think looks cool. And then you also have a couple different layers for the laces. And then you have this like tricolor lace loop action going on here. That looks really solid as well. It kind of ties the whole colorway in together. Honestly, if you gave me these in person, I'd say that, hey, it looks like a collab. What collab is that? But it is an inline pair that New Balance has on their website. They have a couple other colorways as well of the 740s, but I feel like this is probably the coolest one. I like that kind of off-white bone colored midsole, and then the green outsole for the traction is nice as well. So these do retail at $110, and in my opinion, the fit is true to size. I got a 9.5, 9.5 fits me just right. New Balance says the original 740 was kind of a daily runner that would be worn into the ground with heavy miles and bought all over again. This longtime fan favorite returns from the archives, poised to inspire a whole new generation of devotees. The 740 combines familiar elements of the 2000s running inspiration, an open knit mesh upper, segmented midsole, and streamlined silhouette. With flourishes like two-tone color mesh and angular overlays, this gives the 740 a unique visual identity. That's what I was looking for, angular overlays. I like it. Whether you're discovering or rediscovering, the 740 is ready to become your next favorite shoe. The ABZORB midsole absorbs impact through a combination of cushioning and compression resistance, molded TPU N logo, and reflective accents. So in hand, I think that these look pretty nice. On feet, I really like the look of them as well. Again, this colorway I think is really solid. And this is a pair that they do have some collabs on as well. So a couple of the pros about this model, in my opinion so far, again, I love the mesh upper. I think it looks really dope. The price point, again, starting at 110 is a solid price point. It's a nice entry-level price point. You have New Balances that cost $200, $250. Really premium materials, suedes and whatnot on those. However, it is nice to be able to have that N on the side and have like a nice mesh runner. So I feel like this is a perfect model for New Balance to bring back and have for us to consume. I think it's a stylish runner. I think that it's a functional mesh runner as well, meaning like it's one that you can wear casually and it's just comfortable overall. Something that's a bonus to be able to put on your feet. And then I think, again, the colorway is really solid. I like the updates that they made to this model. I think that it's smart that they use a different midsole than, like, you know, the 2002 Rs and the 1906s. We've seen that on a couple different models. So it's nice you have a little bit of a different midsole here, and it makes it probably a little bit more cost effective as well. Also, as I was mentioning, it's nice that they have this model and they're using it on some collabs. The Amine collab, I believe is how you say his name. He's actually from Portland, Oregon, so shout out to Amine. But he has a collab. I have his colorway as well. I'll be doing a video review on. But it looked really, really solid. Like the fact that he was able to take this base model and then make it his own, I think he did a tremendous job, and I'm excited to bring you guys a video on those. So the versatility of them making collabs and then having a standard base pair for us to be able to go to their website and just get, I think is like important. It's nice to be able to see that there are some collabs, and you don't really want it to be a situation where they're doing just a collab and you can't get that model anywhere else. So I like that they have the accessibility to the product. Last pro is, again, the fit is true to size in my opinion. As for cons, I would say I wish that it did have a semi-gusseted tongue. I know it's probably not true to like the 2000s form because they didn't really do that back then, but semi-gusseted, meaning it's attached from like this point down. That way the tongue doesn't shift too far left to right. Because that was the thing from the 2000s that I hated the most, is getting those runners and having the tongue shift left and right. It was annoying. But it is what it is. It's one of those little nuisances that I would call out. And the last con I would say is they're comfy, but they're not like comfy, if you know what I mean. So the overall, yeah, very comfortable. $110 pair. It's a New Balance shoe. If you're used to wearing other retros and stuff, like I feel like this is a comfortable pair comparison. However, like if you know, like I always have to plug New Balance's other stuff because it's insane. Comparison to like the 1080 V14s, like those are insane comfort for $165 and worth every penny. The Fuel Cell Rebel V4s, insane comfort for $130. So if you're wanting like that next level of crazy squishy comfort feel underfoot, then those running sneakers that I mentioned, I've reviewed a ton of on this channel. Definitely go check out those videos because I have high praise for all of those that they have out there. But comparison to that, like obviously this is a $110 retro, so it's not gonna be as comfortable as like their latest and greatest inline products like the 1080V 14s, as I mentioned. But sort of a con, if you will, but at the end of the day, I'm just plugging the fact that they have a really, really solid max comfort line out there that is definitely worth looking at. But anyway, leave a comment in the comment section. What do you guys think about the 740s? Is it a model you guys are vibing with or not? I think it looks pretty cool, and it's nice to see more stuff coming from the archives from New Balance. They have a ton of different stuff that we may or may not know about. So it's nice to see like another version. So I guess this could be like the 740 V2, if you will. But it's nice to see like a newer version of a 740, and it lets us know that there's a lot of stuff that they could be bringing out. And so it's nice to see more stuff out there. So if you guys want to see a video on like the 740s versus the 530s, or if there's other models you guys want to see a comparison to, leave a comment, let me know. We'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Again, link in the description if you guys want to buy these. I'll also link some of the running sneakers over there that I just think are amazing. But anyway, thanks to New Balance for sponsoring content. Appreciate you. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day. Hopefully we'll see you back here for some more content. All right, peace guys.